Hi guys, this is Lashad from Scarlet Moon Creations, and this is my April bullet journal review. Let's go. Let's get started. I'll talk about this in a second with this guy. Let's jump right into the bullet journal. This month I actually have updates on some spreads. So first off, my books to read list. What I did when I set this up, in case you didn't see my 2020 bullet journal setup, is obviously this is from 2019, but I didn't get to cross off everything as read for various reasons. Not a big deal. I read a lot, whatever. Uh, so I decided to keep this spread going, which continues on to this page down here, and then continue with an update here. So I've crossed out reading Tower of Dawn and Kingdom of Ash finally. Still reading the Grishaverse and Cosmere book series, and I've caught up on the Alpha and Omega series. What did I add? I read The Misadventures of the Awkward Black Girl recently, and The Girl in the Tower earlier this year. Yeah, that's it from the old list. Now, from the new one, I've read exactly one book from the Dresden Files reread. I read The Queen's Bargain. I read the first in the Gentleman Bastards series, and I read the first out and only Alex Stern book out for now. So, anyway, next I've got my top five things. So I just updated those. I need to erase some pencil marks. Yeah, I added a couple of things to the Green Witchcraft page because I realized there's stuff that fits. But yeah, this is the one I've made the most progress on. But this is also the one where I had the most things that could fit into this. So yeah. Back to books, graphic novels, and manga are probably not really going to happen because the library is closed. And they don't really have very many online. And so, the New York Public Library does not have Hoopla. It's not connected to Hoopla, so I can't do that. But they do have Monstrous, which I might try, and they have some Saga. So, we'll see. The biggest addition is my quarter 2 mind map with a branch for each area of life and the first steps and the whys for each. And that goes on to a second page. So that is that. Now we have my content inserts, which really only has one spread for this lunar cycle, the Aries lunar cycle, and my content calendar. Here it is. Basically, what this shows is I really went in for focusing on posting more on social media about specific products. The videos have been there for a while, but I've gone back to like regularly scheduled social media posts of products. Now, then we have my first weekly spread, and this is important because this messed me up. Doing this spread messed me up for the rest of the month, which I'll show you. But first, this was the end of this insert, so I just put it back in here for this review. I haven't had it in my bullet journal for a couple of months now. I haven't bought a new one because the Muji store has been closed, and this insert, I think it's the bind insert, is really thin. It only costs $1.50, and I'm cheap like that. It's good quality paper for $1.50, and it's the perfect size for this. And I don't find it online on their website, so yeah. Now here we are with my cover page. My monthly log and projects page. I don't think many of these things were here. At the beginning of this lunar cycle, March 25th, we had already, New York, been in pause, as the governor calls it, basically a stay-at-home order, essential businesses only open. So there were a lot of online at-home concerts and other events that I wanted to include, so to, I guess, keep me grounded and focused, and opportunities I didn't want to miss. And I'm really bad about Facebook events, so yeah. Now we have the projects, of which many I did not finish. The second half of the month was pretty empty at this time anyway, but so don't read anything into that for what I'm gonna say in the future. Honestly, I didn't watch this episode of the astrology podcast. I was slacking on this, so I didn't study, and I didn't put any notes from like outdoor stuff. I didn't make any as I went outside, so I don't really remember. But if you've watched my vlogs, I'll link them. For this time period, you know I did go outdoors, so. Also, obstacles. So, release and manifest. What did I want to release during the full moon, and then manifest during the end of the lunar cycle on the new moon? And so I put for release obstacles to dedication. I was concerned about getting things done on the projects that I had listed, with good reason. And what I wanted to manifest for myself was obviously dedication, but I have my put that update in there. I'll put his name in later. Now, first, my book spread. I participated, I guess, in basically just the Owl's Magical Readathon, which runs for the entire month of April. It's based on OWLs from Harry Potter's Hogwarts test, ordinary wizarding levels, and it's run by Book Roast G at Book Roast on YouTube, and it's really cool. And these are some of the books I read for that, the 4 here. And yeah, so music wise, I made a mistake when I was I don't tend to fill out until the end of the month, so I filled this out on the wrong page. So I left it blank after realizing I will put next month's music here. But so you can see, this is my playlist for the month. I have my favorites. I might jazz this up a little bit, but yeah, my favorites. Oh, I know I meant to add something before I forget. Something on the Moon. I don't even remember the name of that song, but then I have the albums I listen to a lot of, and I wanted to leave a space between Rent and High School Musical, but I didn't realize that until after I wrote it. So let's just wipe that out. And this is what I do to correct things. Wipe stuff out that bad. Playlists I've been listening to a lot, and some of these repeat from last month, and it will probably repeat again next month. Lo-fi hip hop by Chilled Cow, and reading music. I'm not sure. It's like the author of that playlist on Spotify is a string of numbers. So yeah, and Spa Treatments, which is a Spotify playlist I've loved from years now, and it's very calming music. I've also been listening to on YouTube a lot of nature sound stuff. And I might include that next month because I wasn't keeping track of it during this time period. So let's go back to where I'm supposed to be. Oh, memories. Kind of, sort of put these in time order, but not. So, my friend had a birthday party on Zoom at the beginning of the month, and I was really thankful for that. Just chilling, hanging out. There were people going through their mail and cleaning at the same time. Other people were eating. Most of us were just drinking and chilling for hours, and that was great. Loved it. Just relaxing. Even though I didn't know most of those people, other than Rayma, I might have known one other person. The at-home concerts, uh, uh, what is James Corden's thing? There's just been so many, and then stuff on Instagram when I catch it. Growing plants, so I've got lots. I'm trying to like these guys, not the best, but the closest that I can reach. These chives are like needing to be watered because today's the day. But it's wonderful. First store trip since pause. I went out to get alcohol. It did not go well. I wound up being very frustrated, but yeah. Online cacao ceremony again. Just great, and that reminds me I should put another one in here since I have space. Online convention which ended with a fireside chat, and that was very nice. A friend of mine who has a bonfire pit in her backyard just set up the camera facing it, and we all chilled at home while chatting and telling ghost stories. And what is it? Is it spooky pasta? I forget. So yeah, the Owls Readathon 2020, simultaneous full moon ritual that I mentioned earlier. Me and my coven members all scheduled to do a ritual at the same time, and is better than doing ritual randomly in our own homes, not at the same time. Bang Bang Con, I love that. That was BTS's like, hey, you guys are stuck at home, so we're gonna show you 8 different concerts, fan meetings, DVD footage for free. 12 hours on Saturday, 12 hours on Sunday. Since they're on Korean time, it was like from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. my time. So, yeah. And also there was Readathon, which was a 24-hour readathon. I just remembered scheduling social media for my business. And last but not least, it's a moment, it's a memory. It's not happy, but it is my friend's death on the 22nd. So, yeah. Now we have my review. I'm properly covering up my income and expenses section. This upcoming month, I'll be focusing on my Facebook page for Scarlet Moon Creations, my event planning Facebook page, and my Instagram account. Finishing filing taxes is what's most important to me right now. I don't need to change my schedule, I just need to follow it. I completed the Materia Medica course this week. It was just this month. It was just the last class. The majority of it I did in the previous one. And growing plants. Project still in the works. A lot. You saw already. I just copy from here what I did not cross out and decide wasn't important and put it here. What worked well this month, using weekly spreads in my bullet journal, which you'll see in a second, sitting down to study, and video chats and Owl's Magical Readathon. How can I multiply these results? Go with the urge to get active first thing in the morning. That's what I've been feeling, and that's what I need to do instead of lolling around on the internet. Not even really looking at stuff that are super interesting. It's just me spending hours looking for something to catch my attention, and that's a wasted time. Did this month get me closer to my annual goals? No, it did not. And what obstacles am I facing? The continued stay-at-home order, no money for supplies and ingredients, and grief. It's difficult because, like, the end of the month, basically, there's, like, I was good at the beginning of the stay-home order, but by the end of this month, it's been 5 to 6 weeks now, and it's wearing on me. The feeling of being stuck, and I don't want to go out and, like, protest or anything like that because I think that's ridiculous. I do feel stuck. I've had less alone time, which is something I realized towards the end of the month, that because everyone's staying home, even though I'm an introvert, and staying home and working from home is my usual, I'm not alone, and I'm not with just people who expend less energy, for lack of a better term. The money issue is hampered me in that I had plans to make new products, and I was brainstorming and everything, and then some of the stuff I don't have. And yeah, grief. What is it? There's like levels of grief or something like that, and I just found out, and shock was the main one in the beginning, and like wanting to be active, and it's been a while since then, and that has multiplied. So yeah, things I've tried to overcome the obstacles. For the no money issue, changing the ingredients, like, in case you were like, oh, we'll just pick other stuff. Well, yes, I did think of that. And that works for some things and not as well for others. And keeping the focus on social media, so I can't pay for ads. And yeah, it's trying to reuse and reorganize how I use certain things. And as for the other two, the continued stay-at-home order, going out for more walks, and maybe exercising. I've not done it enough purposefully, that, physical exercise, physical, what is that? exhaustion sometimes helps you work out your emotions literally. And grounding, obviously the walks in the park. Um, Otherwise, I haven't tried anything like for the grief either. I guess trying to help take away some of the burden, passing on the news helped for a little bit, but that got old quick. And yeah, these are new and unique situations for me in my life, and a lot of others. So, and many others in both cases. So, don't exactly know what would work to overcome those difficulties, those obstacles. But anyway, what can I try next? Crying. More outdoor time, more walks. Probably early in the morning, so I'm not like with people. Switch some of my product focus to the email readings, and also I want to add in put some focus on my event planning, on promoting the fact that I'm a wedding officiant, and if you have a license, you can get married here still in New York, and you can get a license in New York. So that's something. Just moving up that timetable a little bit. I mean, even though it's May anyway, and kind of writing how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking about when it comes to my friend who passed. So now let's move on to the dailies, of which there are not many. So yeah, just thoughts, dailies, notes, and whatnot. And then, like I said, that insert ran out, so I started doing weeklies in here. So here's the first one. And then I started messing up. So these all used to say March, and this is the 6th, so let me put that back. I messed this one up when I was fixing it. So I didn't realize until several weeks in, and you see it in my last bi-weekly vlog, how I was like, what are you doing, Lachette? It's April, not March. But yeah, so I just did weeklies and started scheduling social media posts. It doesn't look like a lot, but it is. Brainstorming and products and ideas of the focus and ingredients, more dailies, another weekly that I had to fix with whiteout weeks later because I'm crazy, absent-minded, whatever. And here, yes, here I decided to go back to something I did 2 years ago. I used to have a business focus for every day of the week. This is what I would work on business-wise that day of the week. I stopped doing it for a while, and I decided to go back to it, and it helped a little bit with organizing my days. So even if I didn't have an event that day, it can be like, okay, I'll work on videos today, or I'll work on scheduling or editing photos today, or I'll make, something today, research and scheduling stuff, all of that. And last but not least, the page for my Owl's Magical Readathon. I wanted to do all 12. I wound up only doing 9. So, but that's fine because I'm happy with what I did. So that's it for this. Let's go on to the divination journal. here she is. Let's make sure I'm right. Okay, so what we have is my spreads. So these were my cards, which I showed you in my April Witchy Plan with Me. So Queen of Wands from the Line Strider Tarot for Soul Below. Charisma, power, capability. This, when I finally went over it, I think this is more representative of my mother. She's working from home now, so she's like in my consciousness all the time that I'm awake now. Not that it's a horrible thing, but yeah. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And then, as above, from Black Moon Astrology is the sun or spirit. For the most part, this month really felt like positive and rejuvenating, and things growing, and the earth recentering and that kind of thing. Coming back to self and all of that. So getting to know me. It was fairly positive month. It's just like the very last 2 or 3 days where it's just like, okay, now I'm tired of all of that. Next, we have my omen for the month. This bead. It's like orangey. When I pulled this months ago, my thoughts were like, this seems like confining, boxed in, maybe angry or frustration. I don't know. And at the time, I kind of brushed it off because I was like, what? I did this in late December. And boom. This was the first month of this pause, stay-at-home order by our governor here in New York. That started on the 20th of March, and it's still going now as I film this. So this was like the beginning of that. And so yeah, boxed in. That's what the omen, this charm said, like that, and it's an omen that was prophetic, truly. And then towards the end of the month, for this, the reasons of staying at home and also feeling like I'm holding stuff in and all, and the passing of a friend, like those feelings of anger and frustration were there. The quote I had was, "Will it make trouble for you?" And like, for clarification, would I be able to deal with this, basically? And I guess I'm still here. I'm alive. Lastly, I pulled a very healthy pressed red rose petal, for my healing. And guys, take that to mean love is the answer. And I know it sounds very trite and cliche, not something that usually comes up for me, but like self-love, but also love of others and from others to me. And yeah, like that's what it's been, talking to other people, my friends and family, the people I love, caring about how they're doing, them showing their love and care for me in the various ways, and that has been important and helping for the most part. So I want to get back to that in the next month. So that is my April witchy review. I hope you enjoyed this. This is kind of long, but explanations abound. And I will check in with you guys for the next month. I hope you're staying safe. I hope everyone is still with you and you're doing okay. Talk to people, whoever your people are, if you can. If not, talk to strangers. Just check in with the people in your building, in your neighborhood, if you can. Do the washing of your hands and wear your mask when you go out and all of that other stuff. Try to have patience with yourself and with others, and we can and will get through this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit the like button if you like this, subscribe, and that would very much please me so you can see more of these videos. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.